You know, you don't need my help up here.
Yeah, I can't hurt.
No, come on, All right, I'll do just a short intro so I have it in here, and then I can edit it. But you won't be in the screen when I do it. So make believe you're not here. Something.
Okay.
Just gonna. You didn't even give me time to write this, Chris. You just popped up here. Just watch this. It's really quick. 3, 2, 1. Bam. You're an artist on record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. And if it's your first time here, that's you watching. Subscribe, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any other episodes. And of course, all our episodes are on our members only club. So join there because that's where you can be a part of the interview. Watch it unedited, watch me stumble and fumble, and hang with your favorite artist. In the hot seat, 2006 Rock and Roll Hall inductee from the band Blondie, Mr. Chris Stein is here. We're going to talk about his most recent book, a memoir, Under a Rock. In this part 1 clip, we're going to try to get as much as we can because it got interrupted by another iconic figure in rock and roll. That'll be at the end. But in the meantime, this book captures all the great times of when music was at its best. Click right here above here to order the book or go in our descriptions down below. Come on, it all starts now. Don't touch that dial. Bam. All right, huh? Fix it up a little bit. What do you think, huh? You think I'll chase people away with that intro?
I don't know.
It's all good, man. Chris Stein, man, thanks for being here. And you know what?
Thanks for supporting.
Absolutely. I ordered the book on Amazon. I just got it. I've been going through it crazy. And of course, I'm from Brooklyn, so you're going to understand me because you're another Brooklyn guy.
Yes, a legend. A legend.
So the first thing, what does a Brooklyn guy do when he gets a book, Chris? I mean, I'll tell you what I do. I go right to the pictures. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's inevitable. If there's pictures in there, I will run through them.
Just let the people know if they probably do know already, but you as an artist, your photography just alone, if you weren't in Blondie, you would have a whole career just taking pictures. Your pictures are as good as
If I hadn't been dealing with the band situation, I would have taken more pictures. I wish I had taken more pictures, but I would, wouldn't always have a camera with me because we were doing whatever we were doing back then. But I do have those 3 photography books out also.
I put links all down below so everybody you'll check it out. But there's one picture you took it with. Looks like she's wearing the leather bottoms and the torn like punk rock T-shirt, which is one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, the Vultures thing. Yeah, no, we got the. I have the Vultures. I got the T-shirt framed here in the house. It's still with us, even though it's seen better days.
Oh, it's cool. You mentioned things that trigger me, and it brings me back to a time where it's a different time where we grew up. I'm from Canarsie, Carvel. You mentioned all this stuff. You mentioned buying a record album, buying the Meet the Beatles record, which was my first record. All these little things triggered me in your book. I'm like, I felt like I was in the neighborhood. The other thing you did say in the book, which is very funny, me being a Jewish kid from Brooklyn, I thought the same. Everybody was either like Catholic or Jewish. I didn't think there's any other religion.
Well, that's really hard to understand, but everybody in my neighborhood was it, either Jewish or Catholic. I never heard of Baptist or Episcopalian or anything like that. That was just like non-existent, But when you met somebody, you would just say, "Hey, you Jewish or Catholic?" That was like the greeting,
I don't think nowadays you could go say that to people, Jewish or Catholic. I think it's a whole different world, but it's true.
It's a different world, yeah.
It's a different world, man. The Sopranos, the Paulie Walnuts. Yeah, and there's a great little story.
Junior Sirico was the neighborhood legend when I was growing up. He was like a gangster kid. He was probably, 5 years older than us, but I always heard about him. And then at one point we tried to do a weed deal with him and he punched me in the mouth and took our $50. And that was the end of it. But it was, and then he went on to do that stuff.
You hear? What do you say?
Such a fantastic story. But you would see him all the time in the neighborhood? Would you?
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, we hear more stories, and a lot of it was just complete bullshit. Just crazy, exaggerated stuff about his antics and what he was doing and at parties and this and that. But he would hang out in this pool hall, at Artie's pool hall that was downstairs on Avenue J. I don't know if I haven't been over there for quite a while. It's probably long gone. I wish I had met him before he died. I would have liked to ask him about his memories of the old neighborhood situation.
It's so cool. I mean, little Steven, I mean, I'm sure, did you ever tell him the story? You ever run into him?
No, I haven't seen him for quite a while. Next time if I run into him again, I'll mention it. Yeah.
It's a fantastic story. I'm just trying to vision the whole thing, like him walking up, him looking like a young version of what he looks like with the slick back hair.
Yeah, and his brother was also a part of this legendary crew of the Saricos. That was the thing.
People watching that, just the reference it, the Bamboo Lounge in Goodfellas, that was right where I grew up, with that bar that
Nice.
they lit up on fire.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, cool.
It was like kind of safe. Like they kept the neighborhood like a community, the old
Yeah, well,
gangsters,
where I was in Brooklyn, there wasn't much,
Yeah.
there was just mayhem amongst the kids of us, that was about it.
You talk in the book about the scene, the village, which meet like scene in the street, Joe Butler from the Love and Spoonful, seeing Hendrix, which the
Yeah.
village, I missed that era. I came a little later, but man, I wanted, and in those pictures,
no,
the
that
long
was
hair.
all like, 65, 66 in Westville on McDougal Street, but Bleecker and McDougal was the nexus of the youth movement at that point, before the East Village.
Got to ask you, being a kid from Brooklyn and in that scene, first of all, in Brooklyn, to have long hair, for people to understand you had long hair. That's back in the day. That's heavy just to walk around in a place like Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, it was a minority, and I got the story of getting kicked out of high school at my, I guess, junior year for having long hair. Being like, 3, 4 of my friends got rounded up, and the dean told us, "Oh, you guys are going to be crossing the street, and you're going to get hit by a car because your hair is going to blow in front of your face." Yeah, fucking guy actually said that, and I was like happy to get out because I hated high school.
Yeah.
I hated school in general, and then my mother found this really great private school, and et cetera, et cetera. That's all in there. But yeah, no, the long hair thing was a thing. There was no, like now there's like this intermediate, lots of degrees between, the hippies on one side and the jocks on the other side. You got skateboarders and all this other stuff. That didn't exist back then. It was a really binary situation. It was split down the middle. You're either a hippie or a jock, and there wasn't many hippies.
There wasn't many, no, not back then. But what an incredible time, to be back and to see a change. Like you saw like the hippie movement, the punk rock movement, all that different scene, and being a part of it too. Pretty
Yeah, no,
cool,
that's
man.
why I wrote it up, because I was born like right in 1950, and I grew up with before when I was a kid, all the records, the first stuff I remember was all those novelty records of Purple People Eater and the Chipmunks and Monster Mash. All that stuff had its heyday.
Monster Mash.
And West Side Story was huge.
Come on.
People don't get how huge it was.
The jets are in gear. Our cylinders are clicking.
Huge.
Back then, 62, and then the British invasion stuff. Shortly thereafter, and then I went to San Francisco in 67, and then I went to Woodstock, and then I was in the New York music scene. So I was at all these moments.
The best moments in history. It's funny you mentioned what was one of the best rock and roll Broadway. The music was fantastic. I got to ask you a question, because I'm gonna geek out for a second. I did it in Canarsie. I may believe I was a jet. I danced when
everybody. We all really loved that stuff. I don't know if we were dancing around so much, but the clothes,
so cool.
Like Bernardo had like that jacket with like a purple lining or something, I'm going to say. And everybody was like, whoa, man, that's like unbelievable.
Bernardo looked so cool. I had him on my show, George Chakiris. I interviewed him.
Really? Well, okay, so I was really, really close, very close, right up to when he died, with this guy named Alan Midgett. Alan Midgett was close with Bernstein. and he is the kid in the opening scene that they take the basketball from.
Yeah.
And he was an actor. He did a lot of movies over in Europe with Bertolucci and the European directors. I knew him up until he died in his, I guess he was 90 something. Alan was up for one of the dance parts, but he couldn't cut it.
He couldn't cut it.
Wait, let me.
Don't worry. We could. Oh, that.
Hey, what are you doing?
Not much. What are you doing?
I'm on a podcast saying hello.
Hi.
Stefan.
Hi, Debbie.
Let me go. I'll call you back in a bit.
That is Chris Stein. His new memoir is out now, Under a Rock. Links are down below. Click right above here. We don't want to leave Debbie hanging on the phone, so let's take her call. And you know what? We'll be releasing more clips of my conversation with Chris, so make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, post your comments down below. A cool guy, a great book, and what can I say? A legend in rock and roll. Thank you, Chris. Get his book now. I am Stefan. You are beautiful. Remember, who loves you? We do. Thanks for watching.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
She got